Deep in the heart of the American South during the year 1918, a world born from both hope and hardship set the stage for deep injustices. As the sun illuminated the cotton fields, a muted sepia-tone palette reminded us of a time shaped by Jim Crow practices and racial inequality. In this atmosphere of unease and silent resistance, the story of a brave soul unfurled. Here in these lands, where voices were often silenced, a young woman stepped forward to speak the truth. It is in this setting, filled with both beauty and sorrow, that we encounter the remarkable life of Mary Turner. Mary Turner was a resilient soul, whose life in Lowndes County, Georgia, reflected both struggle and steadfast hope. Born into a challenging environment, Mary grew up understanding that determination was the key to survival. Alongside her loving husband, Hayes Turner, she worked as a sharecropper. Their daily lives defined by long hours and limited opportunities. Together, they faced the enduring hardships imposed by Jim Crow laws and the pervasive segregation of their community. Their bond and mutual support were a quiet force in a world that saw them as second-class citizens. With every sunrise over the cotton fields, Mary and Hayes labored with dignity, their hopes woven into the fabric of a history marked by adversity. Their story, marked by both love and tenacity, served as a beacon of strength in the face of injustice, inspiring everyone who witnessed their courage. A turning point unfolded when a prominent white plantation owner, Hampton Smith, was tragically killed. His death ignited a chain reaction rooted in racial prejudice and lethal retribution. In response, a ruthless wave of violence swept across the region, targeting the black community with unyielding brutality. Over the following days, at least 13 black individuals lost their lives in acts meant to instill fear and maintain control. Among those victims was Hayes Turner, whose life was brutally taken as part of this widespread terror. The shock of such violence permeated every corner of Lowndes County, intensifying the already palpable climate of fear. This atmosphere of oppression set the stage for an extraordinary act of defiance. In this charged environment, every action carried the weight of both personal loss and communal grief, making the choices faced by those like Mary Turner all the more daring and significant. When Mary Turner received the devastating news of her husband's death, she defied the overwhelming fear with a courageous act on behalf of truth and justice. Standing alone in a community shrouded in threats and silence, Mary expressed her determination by publicly demanding accountability. As she walked through the rural roads, her steady gaze and calm posture conveyed both sorrow and fierce resolve. At a moment when many would have chosen silence, her stance became a symbol of resistance. Even while 8 months pregnant, Mary Turner used her voice to confront an oppressive system and challenge the forces intent on suppressing her community. Her act, simple yet profound, resonated deeply in an era when every public word carried extraordinary risk. Mary's unwavering call for justice was an invitation for others to speak out against injustice, setting a rallying cry that defied fear and demanded recognition. On May 19, 1918, a horror unfolded that would mark a dark chapter in the history of racial injustice. Mary Turner, who had bravely raised her voice for justice, was targeted by a white mob determined to silence her defiance. With an intensity born from deep-seated hatred, the mob captured her and subjected her to a cruelty that shocks the conscience. They hanged her upside down from a solitary tree, an act meant not only to punish, but to send a chilling message to anyone daring to speak out. In a scene laden with symbolic brutality, they set her on fire and inflicted further pain. By cutting open her body, even in her final moments of agony, the brutality did not cease. When her unborn baby fell to the ground, it was mercilessly trampled under the boot of an enraged stranger. This ghastly event, carried out with cold determination, was designed to instill fear and assert control over a community already oppressed by systemic racism. Mary Turner's life, taken at the tender age of 21, became a stark reminder of the price of defiance in a world riddled with injustice. Her memory compels us to continue the fight with honor. In the aftermath of Mary Turner's tragic lynching, justice was never served, and no one was held accountable for the heinous act. Yet, her story endures as a solemn reminder of the cost of standing up for truth in an unjust world. The memory of Mary Turner shines as a beacon of resilience and hope. We honor her legacy, say her name, and remember her courage, always.